Now, joined in studio this morning by Stephen Short and Donald McGuinness. Good morning to you guys.
Morning, man.
Yeah, delighted to have you. Now, if your listeners out there are saying, what is there to do in this town, or we don't know enough about local talent, well, you're tuned to the right station, because the guys got together and they've a new organisation. It's called Postal Events. You're going to tell us a little bit about Postal Events and what its aims are and what it's about. Stephen, if I can start with you, please.
That's fine. Postal Events, something that we have gotten involved with just recently over the last few months to promote local music talent. We're just organising events in town at the moment, and we're hoping to expand out to Drogheda, Dublin, places like that. But generally speaking, it's just to get musicians together, give them a platform, and promote their music. That's the idea, really.
I like the name Postal Events. How did you come up with that?
Well, we were just basically brainstorming, and you know yourself when you're trying to come up with a name, we were just coming up with random words basically, but we thought that there's a lot of imagery that could be kind of derived from postal. So if you have like an acoustic act, you can kind of keep the imagery kind of soft with, like, you know, that kind of stamps imagery and postal stuff.
Yes.
And then if you've kind of heavier bands or electronic stuff, you know, the whole concept of going postal, you know, that kind of thing, going wild.
So it lends itself to an awful lot, a wide range of musical events.
The imagery was a big part of it. We wanted a name that we could associate with an image that people would be able to recognise over time, you know. So it's all about getting recognised and people remembering who we are and what we're about. So it was to find something to do with that, really. Yeah.
You say you want to provide a platform for local musicians. How difficult is it for local musicians to get that platform?
I suppose it depends on the band. The local scene there's definitely a strong musical scene in Dundalk, you know. The Spirit Store, where our gig is on, is a great spot for music, both local and international even, you know. But for younger bands, for newer bands, I think it is a bit tough to draw a crowd. And I suppose part of what we're trying to do is I don't know, I suppose feed off the sense of the community, bring more successful bands together with less successful bands, and kind of mingle groups together.
Kind of an even kind of footing.
An even footing.
Promote both equally, I suppose. Yeah.
So you're providing an audience that will come for an established band, and you're letting a new, young, unestablished band get in there as well and share that stage.
We definitely plan on doing more of that in future events, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm just curious, guys, as to if there's a band out there at the moment and they've started up, or maybe they're just getting started, and they're wondering, like, I mean, how beneficial is this going to be to them? Or, I mean, you know, what is it that you can bring that's new that maybe they wouldn't be able to?
I think really what we've been trying to do ourselves, we've been trying to, the promotion side of things for a start. Also for this particular event, we've got a drinks promotion to try and bring people in. We've done a lot of online advertisement through Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. We're also going to be experimenting with, we're going to film the actual event itself and record it live, and then put that online for the groups for afterwards, you know, high definition and high quality sound. So we're hoping that these things will benefit the bands both before and after the gigs, really, you know, something that they can take away with them as well.
Also the Arts Council have been kind of on our side as well with
very much so.
Through Create Loud, wasn't it?
Yeah, Create Loud.
And they kind of provide us with a certain amount of funding, I suppose, so then we can kind of go to venues and rent out the venues. And that stops, you know, the bands don't have to incur that cost as such. So.
Well done to you, because right now in this current climate it's very difficult to get funding, so hats off to you. And as you say, you're taking that, the kind of the marketing end, and providing the venue for these bands that couldn't otherwise do that.
Well, all the bands have to do is turn up and play. That's basically, we want to take on the burden of everything else. You know, we want to promote the events. We provide the poster advertisements, you know, things like that. You know, the band, they just have to turn up and play, and that's it.
Wow.
You know, we just want to supply a crowd if we can. So.
What sort of target audiences are you going to be looking at? Obviously depends on what bands that you pick.
Very much so, yeah. Well, Dundalk is a big college town, so there's that audience. We've put up a lot of posters and we've targeted a lot of our internet stuff at the college scene. There's a discount on the door for anyone with a student card, so...
it's €8 on the door with a student card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about the gig. This is your first promotional gig, isn't it? This coming
Together.
Thursday.
It will be together.
Together. Oh, sorry, together. Yes, as Postal events.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about it, please, Dawn?
Well, we've got 2 great bands at the moment lined up. The first would be Luka Novich. They're a 4-piece local band, and they're led by the German-born Alex Pengler. Her voice has been referred to both as powerful and folkloristic. And she's also accompanied by Graham McGrain, isn't it?
Yeah,
on
Graham.
piano, yeah. And then they've a rhythm section comprised of Niall Starr on bass and Patrick Conley on drums. And you can actually check them out at myspace.com/Alex Lukanovich. And the main band have recently had a name change. They were formerly the Four Kicks and are now known as the Mighty Tempest. And they recently finished up a Spanish tour around September 2010. And they're known for their kind of punchy folk rock kind of style, and they're 3-part harmonies. So, and they're led by a guy called Adam Boyle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can check them out at facebook.com/Mighty Tempest, or if you're into tweeting, it'd be twitter.com/Mighty Tempest IE.
So, do these bands, do you pick them because they might complement each other?
Well, yeah, there's a certain element of that.
That was definitely, that was definitely a thing we wanted. We wanted the night to have a certain feel. As I said before, we're offering a free shot of Green Ore whiskey. So we kind of wanted something sort of laid back, something, I don't know. Yeah, we very much felt. Yeah,
I like that touch. So Green Ore whiskey will be available, a complimentary one. How did you pull that one off, lads? That's
I'll be there for that.
There you go, yeah.
You see what
Won't
it
be
does?
the only
Yes,
one.
yeah. So I'm getting an impression now. I'm sitting in a venue, a kind of darkened venue, with the whiskey glass
It's
in
that
it,
exact kind of vibe.
and with nice kind of mellow music going on on the stage. Is that the kind of vibe you wanted to promote?
Definitely.
For this one?
For this one, exactly. We've got plans for doing expanding into DJ nights, acoustic nights, things like that. Donald has a lot of experience with doing DJ nights up in Dublin, so that's definitely something we're looking into at the moment.
So it's going to be sort of mood appropriate, depending on what gig is or who's playing and that
Very
type
much
of thing.
so, yeah.
Oh, so we can't say when we go to the first one, well, it's always going to be in this vein. You're going to keep us in suspense, I suspect, Donald, tell us a little bit about the DJ scene in Dublin that you've been involved in.
Well, I basically just approached the Twisted Pepper. I wanted to get involved, and I didn't really have much DJ experience or event promotion experience, and they gave me a platform, they gave me a room for free, and basically just started getting DJs in and doing a bit of DJing myself, and then got into the promotional side of things. So yeah.
How competitive is it in Dublin?
There's a lot of DJs. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. But there's quite a lot of saturation, and there's not enough kind of venues for it. So yeah, so that's something that we'd like to provide for Loud, though. Something like there's a kind of real growing electronic scene now around Dundalk and Drogheda, I think. So a lot of great acts. So we'd like to be part of that as well eventually at some stage.
This new venue, the Lava Lounge, seems to have a lot of DJ stuff going on, so that's an interesting kind of thing.
Where's the Lava Lounge?
That's under the Imperial, if I'm not mistaken. I actually haven't had a chance to check it out myself, but it's a new place anyway. Yeah, so we'd be interested in looking into them and seeing what they're about.
So it's quite broad, your remit.
We like to keep it open. Yeah.
And does it have to be always local, or is that something you really would just like to?
Well, we'd like to promote Loud music at the moment, and see if we can bring that around.
That's LOUTH.
That's the one.
Yeah, not LOUD.
Yeah, Loud. Yeah, so Cundy Lou. So.
Yes, yeah.
So
Sorry,
guys,
that was a really bad joke on my part. Apologies, guys.
If there is any, local talent out there who is looking to get bookings or to get gigs and just doesn't know how to go about it, is that the type of people that you are looking to entice?
We're definitely, they can check us out at Facebook there, Postal event, www.facebook.com/Postal events, and they can contact us through that if they were looking to get booked for a gig.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but otherwise, come along to the gig on Thursday.
That's it,
Janet, now tell us where, when, how much it costs, any concessions that there are.
Well, this is in the Spirit Store. It's this coming Thursday, the 26th. It'll be kicking off at around 8:30, starting with Luka Novec and finishing up with Mighty Tempest. The door is €10, €8 for students, and you get a free glass of Green Ore Irish whiskey on entry. So just to get everyone started, really.
Get everyone nice and mellow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That sounds a really, really lovely start to your promotional career. Where do you see Postal events, say, in a year's time? What would you like to achieve?
We want to basically we want to expand out. We want to give local talent from Dundalk and Drogheda a chance to come up with us into Dublin and play there. So I would like to see that. But over the next year, it's for ourselves anyway. It's going to be all about getting to know the scenes. We have to start organising small events in Dublin to try and get to know the venues. It's all about getting to know people and building a relationship with the various venues and the various acts. So I think for the next year, that'll be us with lots and lots of gigs to try and get out there. That's the plan.
Sounds like you'll be very busy for the next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I want to wish you the very best of luck with your very first gig. This is this Thursday, the 26th. Sounds a really interesting night. Spirit Store, and of course, I think the complimentary glass of whiskey, shot of whiskey.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not to be sneezed at.
It always has a way of enticing people, all right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very nice whiskey, actually. I'm not a huge...
You've sampled, have you?
We had a little taste.
We had a little taste yesterday.
Quality
just a little
taste.
Quality.
And I suppose then if you're going with someone and they don't drink, well, I mean, you might get two tastes.
There you go, yeah.
Bring your teetotal friends.
Stephen and Donal, thank you very much from Postal Events for coming in and talking to us, and best of luck with the gigs, and maybe you'll come back in the future and talk to us again and tell us what you're up to.
Thanks very much.
Okay, we're going to go back in time now to 1993. This is from an album that was called Songs in the Rain. I remember learning the song on the guitar and then singing it a good few times, and there was probably whiskey involved in it too when I was singing. I think I used to do it rather badly. This is the Hottest Flowers, and this is it.